end of the year, so we forewent. We didn't even get a real premiere, or anything, a showing for people. So we basically got the film done, sent everyone out their DVDs, made sure they got them before January 1st, and our premiere's at Monster Mania in March.
That's the place to do it. You can't beat that.
No, you can't beat that at all. You're right. I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, you've brought it up a few times, professional wrestling. So you have officially retired from the world of professional wrestling now.
Yeah, I think it's time. It becomes a time. There comes a time where it's not fun anymore. Like, it's fun when you get there to hang out with the boys and to kind of enjoy yourself. But the lead up, you almost debate about no showing the entire day.
Right.
And anyone that's ever been involved with it knows that feeling, where you're just I don't feel like, there's not going to be a draw, or, unless you're a rookie. When you're a rookie, you're like, oh, I'll go after 6 people. I don't care. I just fell out of love with it. We Steve Carino and myself, we had the PWF, back in 2001. We brought Brian Regal in a little bit later on after that. That was real successful. We saw tons of today's WWE stars on our roster at the time. I was fortunate to go to WXW and work for Alpha the Wild Samoan, and he gave me the opportunity to write a lot of TV, and I was able to write live TV, which is something I've never done. That was a great learning experience as well, and you learn so much more about how to, save your time and make sure everything fits, because as far as I know, we were one of the only independents to really have live TV. They would shoot it once a month in Allentown. That was awesome. So I just think it's time to. I don't really enjoy it so much anymore. So once in a while I'll watch it on Mondays, and it's kind of depressing when you watch it. There's not much to it.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm pretty sure Frank can agree with you too.
Oh, trust me, there is no. I really can't get into why I don't wrestle anymore, but honestly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's Rob. I was getting to the point where you just said, where I was booked for a show, and this was about a year ago, and I was packing the bag, and I'm just sitting there I don't want to go. I'd get to the show, and I was miserable. I'd sit in a corner with my iPod on. And the guy would come over to talk to the match, and it used to be, man, I want to do this, and this. I just look at him and I'm not taking any bumps, and I'll talk to you out in the ring. So, at that point, you're right. It's time to give it up. It's just not what it was 20 years ago when I started.
No, and I'd rather not be selfish and let, if there's someone out that does want that spot, I'd rather give that spot to them, to be honest. I'd rather pass that along and let them have it. And, it's just I wasn't miserable when I was at the show because I usually had a lot of fun, especially, working with Steve Carino for the last, 8 years up and down all over the East Coast has been a blast. But you just get to a point where you're, I'm 42 and I don't want to take bumps. I don't want to, when you get tired of, I think, some of the attitudes of some of the younger kids today. A lot of them are really good, but then there's some that are just snot-nosed punks, and it's the truth. I'm not telling anybody anything that's different. I appreciate the kids that appreciate real wrestling.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're so few and far between these days. And it's funny, you said, you'd rather not go and give the spot to somebody who wants it. I was the exact opposite. I despise most of the new generation of wrestlers, with there are exceptions, that I didn't want them to have the spot, and I just enjoyed, getting in there and, showing them. It was funny because I tried to explain to them that story, it's all about telling a story, not, who can do the fanciest flip, and they just didn't want to listen. And like you said, they're just a lot of the kids coming out today just don't get it, and that's why you have the indies packed with 30 matches, because they're never going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if promoters are smart, they're going to, take the opportunity to maximize on ticket sellers. I mean, from a promoter standpoint, the business is, years ago when you had 1,000 seats sold, you were a hit. Now, if you have 200 seats sold, you're a hit. Business is completely different than in what it was years ago. You have a lot of promoters that never leave their house. They sit and think if they post their events on Facebook, people are going to go, but no one does. There's no real promoting anymore. I mean, it starts at the top and trickles its way down. It's not like it's just the boys. It's the people that are promoting. And wrestling, the internet has made the fans so smart that it's hard to pull the wool over their eyes. It's hard to just have people respect what you do or appreciate what you're doing instead of them just crapping all over whatever you're doing. Everyone has an opinion, but sadly the ones that usually are the haters have the biggest opinion and the loudest.
And they're the ones that people hear most.
Right.
All right,
well,
guys, I'm right here. Don't.
Rob, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you. I wish you all the luck in the world. Can't wait to see you at Monster Mania.
Yeah, stop by and see me. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're now going to have a costume contest. They're going to have shorts where people can submit their horror shorts. I think it's going to be on Sunday. They have the Yorkies auction on Sunday, which is for charity. I usually host that. He's got more stuff coming that he hasn't even announced yet. So, you go to monstermania.net for information. You go to monstermaniaradio.net to listen to the show. We're on iTunes and on Stitcher Radio. Go to robdimension.com or noclowningaround.com. You can buy the movie or read the nonsense that I write a lot of times. I have the guide on there for social media success, and a lot of times it's the obvious, but sometimes people don't quite understand the obvious.
I'll tell you what, I read it, and you taught me a few things. And after I read it, I said to myself, "Damn, I do this. I wonder if he's going to end up deleting me one day."
No. I mean, I with the new year, I'm trying to be a different person. I'm trying to be positive, and not be grumpy all the time. But it's tough sometimes. People still don't get it. What are you gonna do?
You're out of pro wrestling, so now you can be a little happier.
Yeah, I can be, but I still can, I'm still not afraid to cut a promo on somebody in line somewhere. Guys, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem, Rob. Thank you, and we'll see each other soon.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Frank. Wow.
Great.
What do you think of that?
You didn't know I was in a movie, did you?
I did not know that. I learned something new about you today.
Me and your good friend Rob McCullough were actually in the movie.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, guess what, Frank?
Like I said, it was so surreal that the guy did what he